Spider-Man once quit. Not a break, not a social media hiatus. He tossed his suit in a trash can and walked away from being a hero like it was a bad internship. And New York? New York acted like it had finally won a custody battle. So here's the setup. Peter's in college, broke as always, juggling classes, a job at the Bugle, and Aunt May's health doing the weekly roller coaster. Every time he saves someone, the cops side-eye him. The guy he just rescued complains about property damage, and J. Jonah Jameson writes 5 editorials before breakfast calling him a menace. Add in a few villains who can lift cars, and yeah, burnout's not a bug, it's the feature. It all hits a wall after one routine street bust goes sideways. He stops a couple crooks and a cop immediately barks at him like he just keyed a squad car. That's the moment it snaps. He's thinking, if the city hates me, why am I bleeding for it? So he does the unthinkable. Peter slinks into an alley, peels off the red and blue, and drops the costume in a metal trash can. Walks away in the rain like a noir detective who lost the case and the hat. It's the most dramatic I quit text message in comic history, and New York doesn't even read it because the suit gets found by a random dude who brings it straight to the Daily Bugle. Jameson seeing the suit on his desk is like Christmas, his birthday, and your rent being due on your worst enemy's name all at once. Front page headline, Spider-Man no more. The man probably slept with that paper under his pillow. Meanwhile, Peter's at home thinking, maybe I can just be normal. And for a hot minute, it kind of works. He shows up to class on time, actually hears the lecture, and doesn't leap out a window mid-sentence. He helps Aunt May with real attention instead of, sorry, gotta go, giant robot attention. He even has space for friends. Gwen, MJ, Flash, without constantly scanning rooftops like a paranoid pigeon. Crime, of course, doesn't care about Peter's self-care journey. The city's got a new problem rolling in. A smooth-talking mountain in a suit named Wilson Fisk. They call him the Kingpin, and he's basically a bowling ball in a tux who decided to unionize crime. At first, Peter tells himself the cops can handle it. He sees a robbery breakout down the block, and he just doesn't move. Not my job anymore. Let the badge do it, right? Then he learns later the victim was an older guy who got hurt badly. Nothing fatal, but bad enough to stick in your teeth like guilt you can't floss out. That's when Uncle Ben shows up. Not literally, but the memory steps forward. With great power comes that annoying voice you can't mute, reminding you why you put on the mask in the first place. He drags himself back to the decision no one can make for him. And he realizes the suit at the Bugle doesn't matter, because Spider-Man isn't fabric. It's a choice. So he makes a new costume because of course Peter can sew. The man's been patching his life together since age 15. And he heads back out into a city that did not deserve him, but absolutely needed him. Right on cue, Kingpin escalates. His goons start pushing around the press, literally snatching people at the Daily Bugle to send a message. JJJ, for once, isn't yelling about Spider-Man. He's yelling about not getting stuffed into a panel van. Robbie tries to keep things calm, and calm does not work on men who take orders from a human wrecking ball. Spider-Man swings back into the skyline like he never left, and the whole city pretends it didn't throw him under a bus yesterday. The comeback isn't fireworks. It's a hard, quiet acceptance. This is the job. You get blamed when it rains and forgotten when the sun's out, and you still show up because that's the deal you made with the mirror. He hits the floor running, breaks Kingpin's line like he's calling a blitz, and starts dismantling the operation. Goons go down in threes, cables snap, alarms scream. Robbie gets a hand up first, steady eyes, quick mind, and Jonah gets hauled out next, already rehearsing his editorial about how Spider-Man clearly endangered everyone by being present in the same time zone as a crime. The papers the next day read like a Rorschach test. Some call it a gang war. Some say a mystery masked menace interfered with a legitimate inquiry. Jonah runs with Spider-Man endangers media elite, which is bold, even for him. Robbie files the piece that actually tells the truth, and it lands like a sane voice at a fire drill. And that's the part nobody celebrates. You don't get a medal pinned on you for not drowning in a vault after making a bad decision about hope. You get dry socks, a fresh web cartridge, and the quiet knowledge that you were there when it counted. Tomorrow, you'll be there again, and maybe the day after that, and so on until the bills and bruises form their own little calendar. You can only fake being done for so long when responsibility is baked into your bones. Quitters don't pause at every rooftop edge like it's a habit. Quitters don't count the heartbeats between sirens. He walks past a pawnshop window and catches his reflection, and for half a second he sees the suit on himself instead of behind glass at Jonah's. That's when it clicks. He didn't quit. He tried to put a lid on a volcano. Night falls, because of course it does, and that's when the city starts saying what it really means. He tags a couple of punks moving stolen tech and rides the adrenaline like a bus transfer just this once. They swing at him. He ducks on instinct, and he's irritated to remember how easy it is when he stops arguing with himself. There's a fight in a warehouse with the kind of echo that makes your regrets sound bigger. Spidey moves like he's been moving his whole life because at this point he has. It's not about style. It's about keeping the punches from landing on people who can't take them. A crate splinters. A plan crumbles. Somebody's investment portfolio starts crying. He goes home sore, with glass dust on his sleeves, and checks on Aunt May like he always does. He answers one late-night voicemail from a friend with a lie that's almost true. He puts the suit back in the closet, not like a trophy, but like a toolkit you reach for without thinking when the pipe bursts at 3 a.m. And yeah, he smiles again. Smaller this time, and honest. Tomorrow, the city will forget he ever threatened to leave it alone. That's fine. He'll remember for both of them. He'll remember that quitting felt light for a minute and then heavy forever. And when the sirens start up again, he'll do what he's always done. He'll show up, crack a joke that barely covers the fear, and make sure someone else gets to see another morning.